Welcome, everyone. Today, I'm going to teach you something powerful, something most people never learn, the power of silence. You talk too much, you explain too much, you defend too much, you justify too much. Every time someone questions you, you immediately start talking, explaining, defending, proving yourself. Why did you do that? You explain. Why didn't you come? You explain. Why did you choose this? You explain. What were you thinking? You explain. You think talking makes you powerful. You think explaining yourself shows confidence. You think words prove your worth. But you're wrong. Completely wrong. Silence is power. Silence is control. Silence is strength. The less you say, the more powerful you become. The less you explain, the more people respect you. The less you defend, the stronger you appear. Weak people talk. They explain everything. They defend every choice. They need everyone to understand them. Strong people, they stay silent. They don't explain. They don't defend. They don't need your understanding. They don't need your approval. In this video, I'm going to show you why silence is the most powerful weapon you have, and how talking too much is destroying your power, your peace, and your respect. If you want to learn real strength, subscribe now. Let's begin.
Lesson 1. Not everything deserves a response. Let me tell you something that will change your life. You don't have to respond to everything. You don't have to answer every question. You don't have to defend every accusation. You don't have to explain every decision. Someone insults you? You don't owe them a response. Someone questions your choice? You don't owe them an explanation. Someone doubts your ability? You don't owe them proof. Someone doesn't like you? You don't owe them reasons. But what do? You respond to everything. Someone says something about you? You immediately defend yourself. Someone questions your decision. You immediately explain your reasoning. Someone criticizes you? You immediately justify your actions. You're giving your power away every single time you respond. Every time you explain yourself to someone who doesn't matter, you're telling them, your opinion matters to me. Your judgment affects me. I need you to understand me. And they hear it, and they use it against you. Smart people know this. Powerful people know this. They choose their battles. They choose their words. And most importantly, they choose their silence. They don't respond to everything because they understand something you don't. Not everything deserves your energy. Not everyone deserves your words. Not every situation deserves your attention. When you stay silent, something magical happens. The other person looks weak. They're talking, explaining, justifying. And you're just looking at them. Calm, silent, unbothered. Who looks more powerful? The person desperately talking, or the person who doesn't need to say anything? Silence sends a message louder than any words. It says, I don't need to explain myself to you. I don't need your approval. Your opinion doesn't affect me. I'm above this. Solution? This week, practice this. When someone says something that normally makes you defend yourself, stay silent. Just look at them. Smile if you want, but say nothing. Watch how uncomfortable they become. Watch how your silence gives you power. Watch how they start explaining themselves to you. Lesson 2. Your actions speak louder than your words. You know what's funny? You spend so much time talking about what you're going to do, what you're planning, what you're working on, what your goals are. You tell everyone, you explain your vision, you describe your dreams. But then you don't do them. You talk more than you work. You explain more than you execute. You promise more than you deliver. And people notice. They hear your words, but they see your actions or your lack of actions. And they stop believing you because you're all talk. Your words become meaningless because your actions don't match. Here's what powerful people do differently. They stay silent. They don't announce their plans. They don't explain their strategy. They don't talk about what they're going to do. They just do it. Silently, consistently, powerfully. Then, when people see the results, they're shocked. When did you do this? How did this happen? I didn't even know you were working on this. That's the point. You weren't talking, you were working. You weren't explaining, you were executing. You weren't promising, you were delivering. Talk is cheap. Anyone can talk. Anyone can promise. Anyone can explain their big plans. But very few people actually execute. Very few people let their actions do the talking. You want respect? Stop talking about what you're going to do. Just do it silently. Let your results speak for you. Let your success explain itself. Let your achievements tell your story. When you achieve something, you don't need to tell people. They'll see it. They'll ask about it. And even then, you don't need to explain everything. A simple answer is enough. I worked hard. I stayed focused. I didn't give up. That's it. No long explanations, no detailed stories, just results and silence. The formula is simple. Less talk plus more action equals more respect. More talk plus less action equals less respect. Which one are you? Solution. For the next 30 days, don't tell anyone about your goals. Don't announce your plans. Don't explain what you're working on. Just work in silence. Watch how much more you accomplish when you're not wasting energy talking. Watch how much more powerful you feel when you let results speak instead of words. Lesson 3. Stop defending your decisions. Every time you make a decision, people have opinions. Why did you buy that? Why did you quit? Why did you stay? Why did you choose this path? Why didn't you do what I said? And what do? You explain. You defend. You justify. You list all your reasons. You try to make them understand. You need them to agree with your choice. You seek their approval. But here's the truth. Your decisions don't need approval. Your choices don't need agreement. Your life doesn't need their understanding. You don't owe anyone an explanation for how you live your life. When you defend your decisions, you're subconsciously asking for permission. You're saying, please validate my choice. Please tell me I did the right thing. Please approve of my life. That's weakness. That's insecurity. That's giving your power away. Strong people make decisions and move on. They don't explain. They don't defend. They don't seek approval. I did it because I wanted to. I chose this because it's right for me. I decided this because it's my life. End of conversation. You know what happens when you stop defending your decisions? 2 things. First, people stop questioning you. When you don't feed into their questioning, they learn that you won't explain yourself. They stop asking because they know they won't get a long explanation. They know you've decided, and that's it. Second, you become more confident. When you stop seeking approval from others, you start trusting yourself more. You start making decisions based on what you want, not what others will think. You become the authority in your own life. Here's what you say instead of long explanations. I chose this. Period. This is what I decided. Period. This works for me. Period. I'm comfortable with my choice. Period. Notice the pattern? Short, clear, final. No room for debate, no invitation for their opinion, no need for their approval. Solution? Practice this response. I appreciate your concern, but I'm comfortable with my decision. That's it. Don't add more. Don't explain why. Don't list your reasons. Just that one sentence. Then change the subject or stay silent. Watch how powerful you feel when you stop defending yourself. Lesson 4. Let them misunderstand you. This is the hardest lesson, but it's the most important one. You're terrified of being misunderstood. Someone has the wrong idea about you, you immediately correct them. Someone thinks something false about you, you immediately explain the truth.
Someone doesn't know your side of the story, you immediately tell them everything. You need everyone to understand you correctly. You need everyone to know the truth. You need everyone to see you the way you see yourself. And you exhaust yourself trying to control everyone's perception of you. But here's what you need to understand. You can't control what people think. You can't force people to understand you. You can't make everyone see the truth. No matter how much you explain, some people will still misunderstand. Some people will still judge. Some people will still believe what they want to believe. And that's okay. Let them. Let them misunderstand you. Let them think what they want. Let them believe their version of events. Their misunderstanding is not your problem. Their wrong perception is not your responsibility. Their judgment is not your burden. The people who matter will know the truth. The people who care will understand you. The people who love you will see who you really are. Everyone else, their opinion doesn't matter. Let them think whatever they want. When you stop trying to control everyone's perception, something beautiful happens. You become free. Free from the exhausting need to explain yourself, free from the constant defending, free from the desperate need to be understood by everyone. Powerful people are comfortable being misunderstood. They know who they are, they know their truth, and they don't need everyone else to know it too. They're secure enough to let people be wrong about them. You know what's interesting? When you stop explaining and defending, people become more curious. They wonder why you're so calm. They wonder why you don't defend yourself. They wonder what you know that they don't. Your silence makes you mysterious. Your peace makes you powerful. Solution. Someone misunderstands you this week? Don't correct them. Don't explain. Just let them be wrong. See how it feels to not carry the burden of everyone's understanding. See how peaceful it is to let go of control. See how powerful silence can be.
Lesson 5. Silence creates mystery. Talking kills it. You ever notice how the most interesting people are the quiet ones? The ones who don't talk much? The ones who don't share everything? The ones who keep some things to themselves? They're mysterious. They're intriguing. They're powerful. Why? Because they understand something. Mystery creates attraction. Silence creates respect. Privacy creates power. But you share everything. You tell everyone your business. You explain your whole life story. You broadcast every thought. You announce every feeling. You publicize every plan. Nothing is private. Nothing is mysterious. Nothing is sacred. And you become predictable, boring, common. There's no mystery left. There's no depth to discover. Everyone knows everything about you because you told them. You gave away all your power by talking too much. Look at the most powerful people in the world. Leaders, celebrities, successful entrepreneurs. What do they have in common? They don't share everything. They keep things private. They speak when necessary. They stay silent when wise. They understand that their privacy is their power. The less people know about you, the more they respect you. The less you explain, the more mysterious you become. The less you share, the more valuable your words become. When you rarely speak, people listen when you do. When you rarely explain, people pay attention when you finally do. Your silence makes you mysterious, powerful, respected, interesting, protected. Your constant talking makes you predictable, weak, exhausting, common, and vulnerable. Which one do you want to be? Solution. Start protecting your privacy. Stop sharing everything. Stop explaining everything. Keep some things to yourself. Let people wonder. Let them be curious. Let them respect your boundaries. When people ask personal questions, smile and say, I prefer to keep that private. Watch how your mystery increases your power.
Closing. Listen to me carefully now. Silence is not weakness. Silence is strategy. Silence is power. Silence is control. You've been taught wrong. You've been told to speak up, to explain yourself, to make yourself understood, to share everything. But that's how they control you. That's how they drain your power. That's how they make you weak. The most powerful move you can make is to say nothing. To let them wonder, to let them guess, to let them be wrong, to keep your peace and your power by staying silent. Not everything needs your response. Not everyone deserves your explanation. Not every situation requires your words. Choose silence. Choose power. Choose control. From today, change how you operate. Stop explaining yourself. Stop defending your choices. Stop sharing everything. Stop trying to be understood by everyone. Start protecting your energy. Start guarding your words. Start embracing silence. You'll notice the change immediately. People will respect you more. They'll question you less. They'll value your words more. Because silence is rare. Silence is powerful. Silence is respected. So stay silent. Stay mysterious. Stay powerful. Let your actions speak. Let your results explain. Let your silence intimidate. Comment below. Silence is power. Make that commitment. Subscribe if you want more wisdom like this. We teach strength here, not weakness. Now go, and remember, sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. Stay silent, stay strong, stay powerful.